We are love at our best in the we consciousness.
Hello, my name is Karen Noe and I'm the author of We Consciousness. Today we're going to talk about creating peace in our relationships, especially those closest to us. Before I do that, I'd like to touch upon life reviews and what that means in creating peace in our relationships right here and now. What's a life review? So as a psychic medium, I often hear regrets from those who have passed. When they come through and they speak to their living loved ones, they talk about very often how they should have, could have, would have done things differently, and now they feel it's too late. They should have told their loved one how much they meant to them, and now it's too late. They should have forgiven their loved one, and now it's too late. They should have asked for forgiveness from their loved one for something that they did, and now it's too late. They should have treated themselves with the respect that they deserve, but now it's too late. Also, those who have had near-death experiences, that is, those who have been declared clinically dead, leave their physical body and then come back to life to talk about what they experienced. They talk about this type of life review as well. But why do we have to wait until it's too late to try to see through the other person's eyes? What happens is in that life review, they're able to see through each person's eyes as if they are the other person. Because in reality, they are. We're all one. And you're able to feel that oneness in an instant after you leave the physical body. So, if we take this concept and try to see through each person's eyes that we encounter, try to see where they're coming from, as if we are the other person, because in reality we are. If we can do that, we could create peace in our life and in the lives around us. We may not always understand why they do what they do or agree with it, but try to see through their eyes why they do what they do. I hope that makes sense. So the last weekend, I had a class over the weekend, and part of the class was how to create peace in our relationships. And I had a wonderful group of women that attended the class. And we discussed a little bit about Donna Eden's book, Energy Medicine, and her book, Energies of Love, which I highly recommend. And she talks about how we are all different energy types, and you can't really interact with every single person in the exact same way, because some people are quiet, some people are loud, some people like to hear more words, some people are feeling oriented, and so forth. So we were discussing things that those in the room wanted to change in their relationships. And I'll give you a few examples. There was one woman, a beautiful woman, inside and out, feisty, wonderful woman. She's the type of person who tells you exactly how she feels. Exactly, and you know exactly where you stand with her. But she tells me her husband says it's her tone. The way she speaks to him, he tunes her out. So we're trying to explain. I said, give me an example. And she said, well, right now she's in a job that she loves, and her husband told her she has to quit the job because they have 2 children in college and she's not making enough money. So she attacks him back and she yells back, and nobody feels heard. They tune each other off. So what's the solution? It seems very obvious, but she didn't see it, so I hope she does now. We talked about it. He was saying that they needed more money because 2 people were in college. He didn't say it in the right way. She started snapping back at him. So what she could have done was something to the effect of like, do you mean I should quit my job? This is my dream. I love this job. It means so much to me. I hope that you understand how much this job means to me. To which he could have responded, I know, I didn't realize how much it meant to you. You know, let's resolve this issue. And they could have talked back and forth. And they could have come up with some solution. Maybe she could have gotten a part-time job. Maybe he could have gotten a part-time job. Maybe he could have left a job that he wasn't happy in. But nobody heard the other person because they were attacking each other. So she needed to tell him in a beautiful, nice way how she felt without yelling. Then there was another sweet, sweet, sweet woman in the class that she held things in to the point where she never said what she felt until it was it built up and then she exploded. So, and she's so quiet, she's so sweet. One example was her boss took her for granted. And I told her, because you allowed it to happen, you never told him what you were feeling. And she said, no, I didn't. I didn't want to cause problems. But what happened, it caused problems within her. And finally, she couldn't take it anymore and she left. One example was he said for her to go on an errand an hour away, and she was so angry at that. She did go for on that errand, but she used her own gas, which she resented. She wanted him to reimburse her for the money for the gas. She used her own car. She felt that her mileage, she was building up her mileage on her own car. And she actually got in a car accident, which cost a lot of money. And we all know about the law of attraction. If you don't know, your thoughts create your reality. Whatever you're thinking and feeling, you're creating. So because it was built up tension, she created more tension in her life, not on purpose, but by default. What's the solution in this situation? All she needed to do, and I told her from this point on, just tell people exactly what you want in a peaceful, and she's very peaceful, in a loving and peaceful way. So the first time the boss would say to her, can you go on this errand for me, which was an hour away, she could have said something to the effect of, sure, I'll do that. Can you reimburse me for the gas? And is it possible to use maybe your car? Or something like that. And hopefully he would have said yes. And if he didn't, she would have known immediately. And she wouldn't have resented him all those years, and she would have known to go to a different job. But I think that he would have said yes, absolutely. I hope so anyway. And then there was another woman in the class. She talked about how, she was in my class all weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And she promised him when she came home from work on Saturday that she was going to caulk the bathroom. But when she went home, instead, she started making dinner. Now, he got angry at that. And he said, I thought you were going to caulk the bathroom. And then she started attacking back. So what happened? What happened? Nobody was really seeing through the other person's eyes. So she could have said something to the effect of, yes, I did say that. I did say I was going to do that. But I wanted to make dinner first, and I'm going to caulk the bathroom afterwards. To which he couldn't get mad at that, unless he wanted her to do that immediately, which I don't see the reasoning behind that, in which case he would have been happy as well. Do you see where I'm going with this? One more example. There's another lovely woman inside and out, and she says after the class she went to this beautiful store that she loves, and her husband resents her when she goes to this type of store because she spends a lot of time there. And immediately I said, well, probably because he misses you. The weekend's the only time that he gets to see you because he works all week, long hours. But she didn't hear that. She just heard she shouldn't go to that store, and he is being unreasonable for telling me this. So again, do you see? If she could see through his eyes how much he loved her and wanted to be with her, that's probably the bottom line. She could have just said, yeah, I'm going to spend a little bit of time, but I'll come home and we'll be together and do something fun. What I am saying, this is all, it seems like very simple solution, and it really is. If we could go to day-to-day life trying to see through the eyes of others, what are they trying to say to us? Where are they coming from? And speaking our piece in a loving, peaceful way, we will be going through a life review right now before it's too late. We can forgive people right here and now. We could ask forgiveness right here and now for something that we've done. We could tell our loved ones how much they mean to us now before it's too late. And mostly, we need to treat ourselves with the respect that we deserve, because we're just as important as everyone else. And in so doing, we will be creating peace in our lives and in the lives of all those around us. And it's a win-win situation. That's it for today. I really love you, and I'll see you again next time here on Humanity's Team here on Facebook. Bye-bye. Mwah.
Let's choose love, inner peace, living one in harmony with the knowledge. At our core, we are the ones we've been waiting for. We can do it entering to the weak consciousness.
We are all one. Whatever we do to ourselves or another affects the whole. May the divine within you guide you as to what steps to take to be of service to our beautiful planet. May peace prevail on Earth.